We live. Oh, finally, all these daggone technical difficulties. Child.
Man, I don't even know what to say.
Girl. Okay. You know it's that time of year, right?
What time of year?
You know that time of year where folks be going through their phone and they might be lonely for the holidays and they going through their phone and they start hitting up people they ain't talked to in years. Girl, let me tell you. So earlier, let me see. It was actually, let me tell you what day it was. It was Friday. So Friday, I get this text. Hey, how you been? This is so and so. From where? Who is this? How do I know you?
I'm listening.
And I said, well, you can't just be disappearing and reappearing randomly and expect somebody to remember you. And then so then he sends a picture, and I remember him. I also remember he was a fuckboy. That's why I ain't mess with him. That's why I ain't call him no more, right? But so I said, he was like, you disappeared, not me. And I was like, nah, I'm not into chasing. I text a few times, got dry responses and chuck deuces. And I was like, and this was at least 2 years ago. He was like, yeah. I said, oh, randomly going through your contacts must be a dry spell. You know I ain't shit, right?
You know what?
Then he had nerve to say, he said, haha, what did he say? Haha, no, it's not like that. I was typing out an email or some shit he said about an email. First of all, you ain't have my email, nigga. But he's like, that's all. I'm just cool and just wanted to speak. I said, he's like, I know you married by now. I said, no, I'm not. I'm chilling. I said, dating over 50 is hit or miss. Some folks still out here playing games like they are halfway to the grave. Girl, he just sent a laughing emoji. I guess he thought I was going to say something else. No, I said it, meant it, dismissed. Goodbye.
Oh my God.
Like, don't be shocked. Listen, this is that time of year where they're going to these different events or whatever, or family cuddle time. You know what I'm saying? It's cold outside, and yeah, miss me with that. Ain't nobody waiting on nobody to call.
I don't get it because I ain't never ever wanted to invite some rando to a Christmas event, work event, family event, or anything else with people that matter to me that I have relationship with, and I don't know you like that, or we ain't cool.
No, but I'm saying they get lonely about this time of year, and randoms will just start calling folks. They just flip through. You know how you just go through your phone. I know. Some folks, hey, I delete people out of my phone that I don't talk to.
Right. That's what I'm like,
there are some folks who will just flip through their phone like a Rolodex and be like, oh, I ain't talking. Let me see what they might be doing. Let's see if they thirsty. So that's what that is. Let's see if they're thirsty.
No,
I'm not.
That's thirsty. The new version of spinning the block.
Girl, that must have been a long ass block because it's been 2 years. That nigga spun the country.
Come to think about it, I had that happen before. I met this dude. Hell, I don't even know where I met him, but I met him like it was like right after I moved here too. And so he got my number. Now, thankfully, everybody I meet gets, I guess I'm telling on myself, but they don't even get my real phone number. They get my Google number until I decide whether I want to get to know them or not, right? So I was busy. I do remember it was years ago. I was in school full time and I was working full time. I was busy. I had shit going on. And so he got in his feelings because he had invited me out a couple of times, but it was like every time he invited me to go out, I had something to do. And I kept telling him, like, right now my schedule is really weird. I can't promise you that I'm gonna be able to make anything happen at the moment. But like you can either rock with that or wait until I have a free window that I see coming and I can tell you, yeah, girl, he got real ugly. And I was bitch this and bitch that. I was like, okay, bye. I hung up the phone. And I think I couldn't figure out how to block him at that point on the Google number. So I didn't block him. I just stopped responding.
Right.
So literally 2 years later, I don't even know why I hadn't deleted it out of my phone. Like he was still in there for some reason. And literally like 2, 3 years later, he popped up like, "Hey, beautiful, how you doing? You want to get together?" What the fuck? So I had to go. He called and I answered, but I wasn't paying attention. Like when I answered the phone, so I had to click into the contact to go and look at the text messages. What by that point, I had figured out how to block.
Right. That I love. I love that new block feature. Like I like to block people, but
And
my son says he doesn't block. He gets great joy in pissing people off when they do decide to call.
no, oh, let me tell you. Oh, so I gotta read this message I just got. Y'all gonna get a kick out of this one. Hey, Dana, how you doing, boo?
We miss you, Dana. Dana,
We
we've been
really
having technical
good.
difficulties the last few weeks. Girl, she had to text me and ask me, "Are you live tonight, or is it another one of the reruns?"
Ooh,
Why she call us out? We have been having technical difficulties since we had switched and then tried to switch back. So we've been having technical difficulties. Y'all have to work with us.
work with us. Y'all love us, right?
Goodness.
Y'all
Oh
still
my
love us. Happy holidays,
goodness.
sis.
Right.
So let me read this message I got. I don't even know if I can still see it. I think he blocked me, so I can't even see it anymore. So this guy met him on the dating site, right? Maybe a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, somewhere in there. And he he was a little weird, not in a bad way, I guess, but just out. He had a foot fetish, and I was like, it was throwing me off. Yeah, and it was throwing me off. Dana said, "Why is she calling me out on this live?" I text her because I received my notification from your show. I'm gonna get mine.
Listen, you can go get Monte if you want to. He on his way down there anyway.
Listen, so dude, yeah, he kept asking me for pictures of my feet, and I was like, this is getting weird. And he was like,
Only if you pay me, boo.
he was like, I am very specific about feet and how they look and your arch because I need to know what kind of shoes you wear. And I was like, this is getting weird. So I just kind of stopped responding, like, okay, whatever. So then he ended up texting me for Thanksgiving, and I was like, yeah, happy Thanksgiving. And then I guess he disappeared into the wind. So he pops back up, like he pops back up like a week later.
Right.
I didn't even respond because I was like, okay. Then he randomly texted me on my birthday, Saturday. He texted me Saturday morning. Now, mind you, I ain't talked to him in like 3 weeks. Text me on my birthday, Saturday morning. I didn't respond. Then he texted me Saturday night, like, okay, Jay, sir, why are you still texting? Anywho, then he messages me on the dating site because I hadn't talked to him since Saturday, since whenever. Didn't respond to his messages on Saturday. He must have removed his profile or something because now I can't find the message at all. But why did this dude message me this angry ass message? Like, this is what the fucking problem is with you old ass women. First of all, bitch, you the same age as me. Like, who are you talking to right now? Then he goes on to rant and rave like, this is the problem with you old ass women in your 40s and 50s. Y'all outnumber men about 40 to 50 women per man. First of all, that's not even true. Technically, that's not even true. Oh my God. We're not even gonna get into the stats because I don't know where men keep getting this from, but that's not even true.
He was watching. Oh, so you gonna text me really though? Oh, but you on here. Listen, you might as well get in the comments there because I'm gonna keep calling you out there since you it's
oh, this got juicy. So then he goes on to talk about that's why women on here so raggedy because we want a man, but we don't even want to act right. Girl left me this like angry. I stopped reading because it was like 2 paragraphs full of shit. I'm not gonna read this. Like,
wait, he texts you like a chick with all.
I'm not gonna say that because I think that's mean toward women. But yeah, he literally texted me like 2 paragraphs, and I'm like,
he texts you like a chick. That's a chick move.
First of all, that's rude as hell, Gypsy. Because all women don't do that either. But anyway,
he's all in his feelings in a text message,
right? But we ain't never went on a date.
Name, though.
Huh? Girl, leave that man alone. Let him be great. Leave him alone. Stop toying with him. He is not cat. Okay, stop toying with him.
I'm not messing with him like that. Like really, like seriously. I'm just saying. This is that time of year that folks be coming out the woodwork. We got the homosexuals, then we got
Gypsy, why did you send him this if you didn't want him to respond and say something?
Girl, I don't care. But listen, the thing is don't respond in the text message, respond in the chat. We online.
Oh my God. Dana said I felt his spirit.
Yeah, because Monte's on his way down there. You know, every time he's on his way down there, that's her baby. That's her nephew.
Her baby. He said, I'm gonna start selling my feet pics. That fetish is you. Listen, I'm at the point of I want to get an OnlyFans just for my feet. Because when I tell you these dudes is out here like going crazy over feet, I don't get it. But okay. She said, because motherfuckers is crazy as yes. Lies, and we don't give a fuck about lower my standard. Right. These same age and older ninjas are
right. They see now and emotional.
And emotional. The game is that you get chose, not vice versa. That's young girl shit chasing men. Like, right?
No,
I
but
was like,
wait, and on that, you know, Dana, the other flex is, oh, I weigh 6 figures. I got a car. I got this and I got that and I got a house. Me too, nigga. Now what?
Oh my God.
What? I'm just saying. Like you can like the thing is don't try to flex on me like I'm some chick in my 20s that don't have the same stuff you have. And matter of fact, I got a niece that just turned like 32. And she in 6 figures and own a house.
I'm not impressed.
Matter of fact, how about my niece lives across the lake from me in the same neighborhood? So yeah, you really can't flex on her with that.
Girl, when I tell you these folks, like I said, I'm tickled because never went out on a date with this dude. I'm trying to think. I think we talked on the phone once because I think he called me and I was busy. So I was like, I got to call you back. It wasn't a long or like nuanced conversation, maybe 2 minutes. And that was at least a month ago because it's the 15th of December now, right?
Right.
Why is you so caught up in the fact that I didn't respond? If it's that, ignore me and keep moving to the next since you got all these options.
He don't have all these options. That's why. That's why. But that's why it's the problem.
Because Dana said we are not our matriarchal ancestors.
Exactly.
He's crazy, desperate, and lonely. Girl, listen. I said I dodged the bullet. And the thing is, I brought this up for a reason because you was talking about people circling back and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to dating, relationships, business, life, whatever, I am an advocate for people to trust their intuition, trust their gut
Mhm.
instinct. And if I don't feel right, if I can't put my finger on it, I don't care. If I don't feel right, I'm not doing it. So for whatever reason, I was just like, mm. I couldn't put my finger on it, but
Right.
and that just showed me like you made the right decision. Because sir, why is you sending me 2 angry paragraphs talking about women ain't
No,
shit and we old as hell and ain't got no options? You messaging me like,
but Jay,
sir.
the other thing is that it may not be any red flags at first, but you felt you had better options out there, so you kept it moving. But
Yeah,
why did you circle the block? Is it because the options that you had? So let me just say this, and we talked about this in the past episode. Y'all have to go revisit some of the past episodes to see us talk about this. But we talked about this when we said that there are times that when you're younger, you may have all these options, but as you get older, those options start disappearing. First of all, because some of those options are superficial options. Remember what I said, that they try to impress the ones with like in their 20s and maybe the younger 20s, maybe younger 30s. They can say, I got the 6-figure job, I got the house, I got this, I got that, I got 5 cars, and blah, 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 blah. And they might be impressed with that. But when somebody
I didn't
gets
read it, Dana. I glanced at it to try to figure out what the hell he was. I didn't know who he was at first. Like I couldn't even lie. I didn't know who he was
right,
when the message popped up because he messaged me in the dating site.
right,
So I was like, who is this? And
right.
when I started skimming it to figure out what he was talking about, because it was so much, I was like, oh hell no.
But see
I'm
that,
good.
but see that's the thing, is that sometimes the thing is that people circle the block because they realize as they get older and their options are still no, not their options, but
Hey
their,
Jill.
for lack of a better word, their offerings are still the same as they were when they were in their 20s and 30s, then folks aren't finna do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy that his offerings are his looks and his bank account, as he gets older, if looks and bank account are your only options, the women that are in those same categories, they're going to start overlooking you because where is your character? Where is your safe space? If you're not a safe space, nobody wants to be bothered with you, regardless of what you have in your bank account or how you look. Because as we get older, we're looking for a safe space. We're not looking for someone to provide, because we can provide for ourselves. I don't know.
So
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but at 55, that's my thing. At 55 is that I can provide for myself. I'm looking for a safe space. I'm looking for someone that can, be a place that I can deluge from the world, for lack of a better word. I don't want to be. I don't want to be fighting at home after I fight in the world all day.
Dana said, hey Dale, thank you for tuning in. He said,
Mm-hmm.
hey ladies, enjoying the conversation. Oh, so y'all, if you're looking for Sean got tied up with something
Work.
else tonight that needed his attention. So he won't be joining us, but he'll be back next week. Dana said, ooh, another thing, my
Right.
patience is getting shorter and shorter every seasoned year. In my 20s, mid 40s, I entertained more of the bullshit because I had time. Now I know my wisdom sees right through the BS. I will say,
You know what, Dana? That is exactly what it is. It's like when you realize you have more years behind you than you have in front of you, you're less willing to like go through the riffraff and stuff. And it's just
well, I
kind of
ain't
like,
gonna say that because I'm only 46. I feel like I got just as many years, hopefully, in front of me as I do behind me because I might live to 90 or 100. So who knows? But I
I
will
ain't
say
trying
that
to
my
live
time,
90 and 100 in this bullshit that's going on right here. I
I
kind of
will
don't
say that
want
my
to
time
be.
is valuable.
Mm-mm. I don't. I
However long I
do.
am here, my time is valuable. And I choose to spend it with people that I feel good with, that I feel safe with, that I honor and respect, and that honor and respect me in return. Right.
Mhm.
And so, like I said, that's why I advocate for people listening to their gut instinct. And that's why I brought
Right.
that example up. Like I couldn't figure out what it was, but I wasn't finna sit and waste time trying to figure out. It didn't matter. I trust my gut instinct. And
Correct.
I just felt like something's, don't know what it is. Ain't finna stick around and find out. And so
Right.
anyway, spirit just ended up bringing confirmation. Not that I needed it, because hell, I didn't look back. But spirit brought confirmation in the way of his behavior. Like, who is you talking to? If I hadn't responded to you, why are you still texting and calling? And if I
Not
didn't
that
respond,
you like. Who is you talking to?
and if I hadn't responded to any of that, why? Why use your time and energy to send me this bullshit here? Like, what did it matter? It didn't matter, because I'm
He
still
was
not
trying
gonna
to send you his manifesto.
whatever. So that being said, ladies, men, I don't care who, trust your gut instinct and don't waste time. Listen, I tell my clients this and my students this all the time. Ain't not a damn person walking the face of this earth entitled to your time if they are not paying you for it. So your job is entitled to your time because they're paying you for it. Your clients are entitled to whatever time or service or product or whatever you give them, right? People that are paying you are entitled to whatever fits in the purview of what you are supposed to be offering them. Outside of that, nobody is entitled to your time. I don't care if it's a stranger on the street, your family member, your neighbor, nobody. So when they're trying to waste your time and talk about bullshit, when they're being rude and disrespectful, we'll do that over here. Who is you talking to? Because I can cuss you back out. But if I got time, if I don't feel like playing with you like a cat with a string, then I'm gonna just block you. Because most of the time it's not even worth a response, right? Every once in a while I'd be like, I got time today. I'm gonna get this amusement before I move on with the rest of my day. But most of the time, I'm just gonna block and keep it moving because it's not worth it to
Mhm.
exchange energy with somebody who, for whatever the reason, is not on your level, right? Don't come down here with them, make them come up here to you or let them disappear. Dana said,
It's just different.
then hold on one
Yeah,
second.
I
Dana
like
said,
that.
about the years I have left, my daily routine doesn't allow time for unintentional people. I barely like to talk on this phone with the friends and family I
I
have.
can vouch
I
for that
understand.
because Dana is quick to like. I love my girl, that I do, but Dana is quick to okay, get to the point. Okay, I'm done. All right,
Mhm.
hello, man down code
I
10, get bitch, get the
especially when I
truck.
be in person and somebody taking forever to go up the mountain, down the block, and around the corner. I be like, what are we doing? Like, what are we talking
Like,
about?
and you know what? And the thing is I know who she is, and I love her. I know who she is, and it's with love. But she's like, listen, get to the point so I can keep it moving because I got shit to do. And
But,
listen, the
mhm,
thing is that I'm a little bit more intentional now, like she is. I'm a little bit more intentional now. The whole I had time. I really didn't have time then either because when I was younger, I was a single parent. So I didn't have time, but I made time. I entertained shit that I really probably shouldn't have, but now I'm not into well, you know what that was. That was my people pleasing side. Like me because I'm likable. But yeah, the people pleasing side, that bitch is gone. She don't she don't live here no more.
for me, when I say I have time, like, there are days when I don't have the time to give to anything that's not pertinent in the moment, that's not focused on accomplishing something, getting a goal done on my schedule, whatever. Balls to the wall, right? And then
Mhm.
there are days when I'm sitting at home with not anything on my schedule, watching TV and napping. Those are the moments I got time today and I'm a little bored. So I'm going to go in and toy with whatever this situation is and get my little 5 minutes of laughing. and then I'm gonna move on about my business,
And
right?
we're gonna use you for fodder for the podcast.
You see what I'm saying? Dana Dana said that part. I love you and I know who you are. Acceptance, no judgment. I'm loyal, so not everyone gets access. Like you said, Jay. Listen, not everyone deserves access to
But you
you,
know
and
what?
people are not entitled to your time. And we as women, especially, because I know that we tend to be more nurturers, we tend to be more in touch with our caretaking skills and experience. And that's fine. You can give that to the people that deserve that from you. And they deserve it from you, and they are giving you something in reciprocity
Right.
to show you that your energy is not just falling on void
Right.
ground and in a black hole. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if people are not giving you that, because I have people all the time that will be like, well, Jay, you didn't call me back. Was I supposed to? Yeah, because such and such. Oh, okay. That sounds like a you thing. That doesn't sound like I needed to call you back.
No,
That
no,
sounds like
wait.
you were
That's
expecting
not
my
what I was
time,
saying.
and
Now,
I'm
that
not
was
giving
not what I was saying about Dana. Let me tell you something. Dana is the most
no, I wasn't talking about data.
responsible.
I'm saying
I
in
know,
general.
but I'm saying, like, I know who she is, but I do know that Dana, when I call her and I just need to talk to her, she's there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's there. But if you calling her with some bullshit and she got other stuff going on, and it's just bullshit, and it's not something that's like really impacting you, she'll tell you, get over there and move on. Let's go.
Oh, see,
What are we
Dana's
doing here?
kindred spirits.
What are we? She's like, what are we doing here?
Hold on. She
Like
said,
that is her
on those
main
days
thing.
when I'm
What are we
doing
doing
nothing
here?
and able to relax and watch TV, I really don't deal with the outside world. I be in my peace, no interruption. Yes, I feel you, Dana.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so for what you were saying, no, that's why I said I wasn't talking about data. I'm talking about in general, because I do get that a lot where I don't call people back intentionally. If I didn't call you back, it's because I meant to not call you back. Because at the very least, if I don't call you back, if you matter to me, I'm going to respond to your text message or your call or something and let you know, hey, I'm busy, or I can talk after this time, or give me such and such and give me a call. If you need me right now, let me know and I can take a break. I'm going to give you something if you matter to me, right? But if
right.
you are not in my circle of space that I value connection with you consistently, if you're not in my circle of space that I value camaraderie and reciprocity with, you're just some
Mhm.
random person to me. Because I have people that will operate with and again, because I have a business and my business is on social media, that's part of it, right? Which is why
Right,
I am so ironclad with my boundaries. So,
right.
and especially guys, I get it more so from guys than women, but I have had it from some women. And they'll be like, well, Jay, you didn't call me back. And so when I ask, oh, okay, well, am I supposed to call you back for something? Yeah, such and such. No, that's a you thing. That wasn't that I needed to call you back. I'm not missing anything. I did not follow through on something. You just wanted my time, and I'm choosing not to give it to you.
Right.
So, you know, um, I feel like we have to be comfortable enough to enforce our boundaries. Boundaries have less to do with the other person and everything to do with you. Boundaries are
Mhm.
your line in the sand so that you know when someone is encroaching on you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, or they're not respecting you or whatever happens. And when that happens, we have to be okay speaking up and being like,
Well, see, this is a year I learned my boundaries
okay.
because at first I used to move my boundaries based on who it was, because I didn't really want to like have people feeling a certain way or whatever.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
realized that them feeling a certain way had nothing to do with my boundaries, but it had to do with them not respecting them.
Mhm.
And so, um, my boundaries are my boundaries. If I say my no is a no, no is a complete sentence.
That
I don't have to explain my no. Just because you're not comfortable with it doesn't mean I have to explain it, right? And now I wasn't taking pot shots at the random text message earlier. Let me just say this, right? I really wasn't taking pot shots at him. Like I was open to exploring, at the time. But when you give me dry responses and stuff like that, then you get what you get. And then if I put you on the back burner because it feels like you put me on the back burner because now I've decided, yeah, I'm not a priority, I'm an option, then you can't get mad when I treat you like you've treated me, like an option.
So I get it. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think though that a lot of that is nuance and understanding different people's perspectives. Because I'm with you. I don't stay anywhere I feel tolerated. I'm a whole motherfucking me. And anybody that I choose to give access
Mhm.
to me, that is a privilege and a blessing, right?
Right,
And I can take it away when I want
right.
to. And so if I don't feel like it's being, bye Dana, thank you for tuning in
Travel.
with us. If I don't feel like it's being reciprocated and respected, I know how to fall back, right? So I feel like we also have to acknowledge that with when it comes to being tolerated versus being respected versus being honored versus being whatever, that takes nuance and understanding of who you're dealing with because it means different things for different people, right? So
Mhm.
that's why I was using an example like I saw Dana's comment and she was like, I'm not that harsh, am I? I am.
Mm-mm.
I am. No, she was asking that comment.
Yeah, she was asking me because of what
I
I
get it.
I had said,
I
and
get it.
you know,
But I'm using the
she's
example to say I am that harsh. I will check my friends and I'm like, yeah, don't want to talk about that.
it doesn't come it's not harsh. The fact is that her time is limited. Her time is very limited, and she's always been that cut to the chase. What are we talking about here? What is the point? Okay, let's
Yeah.
move on.
What I'm saying is, so Dana asked that question and you responded to her, but I was
Correct.
using that to jump off and say,
Mm-hmm.
I am. Unapologetically, I am that harsh sometimes because
Mm.
sometimes people need it in order to snap out of shit. I am not that
Mm.
friend that wants to hear the same shit over and over and over again for the whole year. I
Oh
am
no.
solution oriented. Now that doesn't mean that we as people don't need safe space. We absolutely need safe space to talk it through, to get it out, to be human, messy, chaotic, confused, tearful, sad, rageful, angry, whatever, right? We have to work through the process of our emotions. If not, that's a whole nother issue. But I am also not that friend, as safe as I am, as loving as I am, as kind as I am, because I'm not nice. And this is why I differentiate to say I am not
There
nice.
is nice and then there's kind. There
There
are
are two
two
different
different
things.
things,
I am
and
kind,
people interchange them and they shouldn't.
right? I am kind. I am loving. Some people even say I'm sweet. I work on that, but I am not nice because I don't feel like I have to do anything for you. Everything I do genuinely from the heart because I desire to, right? So I am that friend that sometimes I'm harsh because I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. First of all, you didn't ask me if I had time. So most of my friends know by now that when they call me, they text me, they'll say, hey, do you have space? And I can let them know, yay or nay. Space meaning, do I have the capacity to listen to whatever it is that you need to share or to work through whatever it is that you need to work through without it depleting me and whatever it is that I need to be doing or accomplishing,
Mhm.
right? And I'm the same way. When I call her, hey, I need to talk, do you have space? Or text, do you have space? Hey, Alicia. Hey, gorgeous. Let me pause and
Hey.
give a quick shout out. This is one of my boo things, Miss Alicia. Her and her sister Meyer are absolutely the dopest, baddest of the baddest here in Birmingham when it comes to edibles and infused products, drinks, foods,
Yes.
all the things. So if you need Miss Alicia's contact, just send us a message here at the podcast, and we are more than
Come
happy to share her contact
through.
information with you. So yeah, so that being said, you can hold space for people that you love, but also hold a boundary of what is unhealthy versus
Correct.
what is healthy. And a lot of the times we can get caught up in our stuff and not
Mhm.
realize how we are choosing to exist in something toxic and or unhealthy in our own behavior
So
because we're stuck in our pain. And a true friend, this is why I say sometimes I can be harsh, but
a
it is out
true
of
friend.
love. A true friend is going to be like, get your shit together. because you
listen,
either gonna keep talking
let
about
me,
this pain and wallowing in it, or we're gonna work on
yeah,
solutions. I don't care if it's a man, money, whatever, right? You
let me
eyes up,
shout
you're gonna
out
be
Dana
taking.
on that. Dana is my true friend. Dana was around me when I was married. Dana had misgivings, but she actually, she told me in love that she just didn't didn't think this was the right thing for
Yeah,
me, right?
yeah.
But that she supported my decision,
Mm-hmm.
but that she just did not feel like this was the right thing for me. And she was very right. She was very right, right? But she didn't come back and be like, "Ha, told you so, told you so." No, she wasn't like that. She also was like, I'm here if you need to talk about it. I mean, I understand you're hurting, blah, 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 kind of thing. And so there are those friends that will express the misgivings, but not throw it in your face that, oh, yeah, see, I told you that nigga was shit. But
Mm-hmm.
no, there's a difference, right? There's a difference. And, you have to, you also have to be open to both your male and female friends because there are male friends who also will tell you about their misgivings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean they necessarily want to get with you because they tell you about their misgivings about your choice and spouse.
Yeah,
Sometimes the men that tell you that is because, in the words of J. Cole, I hate a fuck nigga because I've been a fuck nigga.
okay.
Yeah, because when he was, there's he has a song called "A Heart" with I think that guy's name. I can't remember what that guy's name is, but it's something Lucas or something like that. But he said, "I hate a fuck nigga because I used to be a fuck nigga," and he talks about how he was cheating, and the guy that actually was singing the song, though, before J. Cole does that little ad lib in there, he talks about how his girl decided to go and be with another dude. But this is after he been cheating on her all this time, right? And so I said that to say that guys can see that stuff in other guys. And so
Absolutely.
and so a lot of times, if especially if they're just if they're talking to you in friend mode, not in, ooh, I'm gonna get with her once I get him out the picture mode, they're gonna tell you the real of what they see, not of not a I'm trying to take advantage situation.
I
Sean
agree.
and I have been friends over 30 years, 35 years. Let me see, my son is 36. So we've been friends about 35 and a half years, 34 and a half years, because my son was almost 2 when we met. When Sean tells me stuff, he tells me stuff as my friend who knows me and who can see things around me, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. But I think that should be, and again, I do realize that I think differently, right? So I live
Mhm.
my life based on how I think and how things make sense to me. That's something that I've always done. I've never dated anybody that I didn't get feedback from. Now, does that mean I'm running and telling folks about them from day one, everything that's going on? No, because I like my privacy, I like my space, and I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do, regardless of what anybody else says. I'm going to make my decisions. So I give myself a chance to get to know people based on what I think or feel first. And then if I feel like, okay, this is something that I want to kind of be open to, I don't care if it's a friendship, business opportunity, whatever it is, right? If this is something I want to be kind of open to, or something I want to check out, or a person I want to get to know, date, whatever, then yes, I will tell certain people about them in order to get feedback on, okay, well, so far this is what's going on, because I do believe women can see men. I mean, women can see other women, men can see other men, but also it's just good to have people objective outside of the experience to give you feedback on behaviors and different things based on what they may pick up or see that you're not necessarily paying attention to or seeing in the situation because you're in it. You can't see the forest for the trees sometimes, right? Um, Also, now in today's time, and it's something I've always done, but I'm even more diligent about it now. I always, when I go on a date for the first time, I am telling at least 2 or 3 of my friends, this is who I'm going on a date with. They get a screenshot of their picture, or a picture. If I have their Facebook profile, they getting that too. Phone number, address, whatever I have, they're getting that. They're gonna know where I'm going on a date. They're gonna know the addresses,
Picture
like
the tag.
picture the tag. Right. They're gonna get all of that. And that's something I've done for 20 plus years, because that's how I was like taught, like you operate in safety all the time. And even back then when it was a little bit more common to let somebody pick you up, hey, I always made sure I had cab, taxi money, whatever. Most of the time I
Right.
was driving, but that rare occasion where I did let them pick me up, I still never went anywhere without making sure I can get my own way back, making sure I can pay
Yeah.
for my own, because people are crazy as hell, right? And so even now, still I'm the same way. You know, again,
Right.
I'm gonna make my own decisions, but I do believe in getting constructive feedback from people that I trust so that they can see things that I might not see, or pick up on something that may look one way to me, but they may perceive it a different way based on things that they've seen or heard or experienced, right? And
But
I think,
sometimes the interaction is not necessarily you telling them anything about that person. It may be their own interaction with that person that be like, hold up.
right.
Mm-mm,
And that's why I'm also
mm-mm.
a big fan of, once I've decided to date you and we have kind of established a foundation, you're gonna meet some of my people. You ain't gonna meet everybody, because I think that those things come in waves, right?
Right.
But you're going to meet key people, because I want to see how you engage with them and how they engage with you,
Right.
because the people I love have to be able to get along with you and vice versa. I've never been a woman that's going to choose my friends over my man or my man over my friends. There's going to be balance, and things are going to be handled based on what's constructive and appropriate in the situation, right? But
Mhm,
I got to
mhm.
see that y'all at least get along and have the capacity to, coexist peacefully, because ain't nobody trying to be caught up in turmoil and chaos all the time. Like, what the hell? Bestie should not be arguing with your woman or your man. Like,
And
what?
that also is clear up your past trauma before you start trying to date.
Yes. Yes.
Clear up your trauma before you try to date. Because the thing is that the one thing is that if you haven't cleared up your trauma, you're still subjected to it. But the second thing is your trauma is a red flag for everybody that you date. If that are really right.
Get
If we
cut real
really
quick.
watching, listen, the thing is, a person who is about having peace and tranquility around them is not going to be bothered with you and your trauma.
All
That
that arguing.
all that
Listen.
arguing and bickering and that whole like you in that fight or flight mode all the time. Nobody wants to
Mm-mm.
do that. Listen, this is first of all, I'm 55. I ain't trying to fight or flight nobody. If I got to fight or
Man,
flight,
listen.
I'm finna be like out. Like you gonna see the deuces because I'm just not I'm not in that mode anymore. When I was younger, I might be like, oh, well, he just need to work on it. He'll be okay. No. Now at this stage, I'm about peace and tranquility in my personal space because I can control this.
Yeah.
I can't control the outside world that I have to interact with. So y'all ever seen a Venn diagram? And a Venn diagram, it shows where things intersect and overlap.
Mhm.
What overlaps with me is the outside world. your outside world and my outside world. Like those things overlap. But guess what? I can control anything that overlaps with my world. And if it overlaps with my world and I decide I don't want to deal with it, I'm going to not deal with it. And that's the difference between the younger me and the more seasoned me. The younger
Well, I
me
think
would,
comes into play with getting comfortable in your skin, doesn't it?
it does, because I'm now at that space where I'm like, yeah, that's a no. Kind of get your stuff together and good luck. Good
That's
luck.
a no.
Okay? Yeah, it's like good luck, but you know, and this is one of the topics we kind of covered before. As we're recapping some of the things that we've talked about over the year, this is one of the things we talked about. It's about boundaries. So go back and look at our past episode regarding boundaries, and like there are some things that you will discover that yeah, we talk about boundaries, but we also talk about, sometimes boundaries are unrealistic, but most of the time they're not. If
I
you have
think
unrealistic boundaries, they're like boundaries of, oh, he's got to make six figures and da 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 da.
that's more of
And
an expectation.
right, right,
And is it unrealistic or ridiculous, or is it just that person's preference? Because I say, hey, baby, if you like it, I love it. Go on and rock on with your bad self. Like I am not the one to tell you that you can't have it. Because
right,
whatever you say you want, there's likely somebody out there. Now you might not meet a whole lot of people that will do it, but there's
right,
somebody out there that will match what you want. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But I do feel like boundaries and expectations serve the purpose of helping you to figure out who you pair well with and who you don't. And at the end of the day, if you're not getting what you want, yes, look at, am I being unreasonable, and in the way of it's almost impossible for any decent human being to meet this standard or this expectation. Then you might have to go back to the drawing board. But aside from that, listen, rock your boat, baby. Do what you do, because there's somebody out there
right,
for everybody. One one man's trash is another man's treasure, and one man's fetish is another man's paradise. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, hey, do what you do. Just make sure that you're honoring yourself and your time, because people out here are hurting. They're going through. They crazy as hell. People are toxic, and there are a lot of people that do not want to work on their stuff. And you have to decide whether you can deal with it. So the standard that I hold for myself and that I tell my clients and mentees to work on, and my students to work on, is ask yourself, can you accept this person right where they are if they never change?
mm,
If they never change, can you deal with whatever it is that they are currently giving you? If your answer is no, you need to leave them in peace, because if they don't change, you're the one that's going to be angry and bitter, talking about what they should have, could have, would have, wish they had done. But they showed you who they were. You made a decision to deal with it, and now you're mad because it didn't line up with where you
mhm,
thought
mhm.
that it might go. If they
Right.
are showing you something, what did Maya Angelou say? Or Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
But girl,
Believe them, beloved.
believe them, baby. Listen, if he showed you he was a hoe, believe him. If she showed you she was a hoe, believe her. Don't assume that you're gonna change that hoe into a house husband or a housewife, because that might not be what they see in the cards for themselves, right? So I want to
Right,
direct y'all to the episode that we had 3 months ago called "Have You Ever Been Jaded by Love?"
right,
Go back and look at that episode, because we talk about some of those things. Like, a lot of the times people are responding to hurt that ain't got nothing to do with the person in front of them.
hmm,
And that's not fair. You cannot make this new person pay for what somebody 30 years ago did to you. You cannot make them pay for what somebody who stood you up 6 months ago did to you. That is not fair. Go to therapy, go get help, talk to your minister, whatever. Do something to help yourself. Go get prayer. Lay on the altar. I don't care. But go get help.
You said go get help.
Go get help. And I mean it. Like, y'all know I'm an advocate for mental health. Go get help, because there's too many grown people around here looking for somebody to save them. Ain't nobody got time to keep playing Captain Save-A-Ho when you are grown and entrenched in your pain and don't want to get out of it. Nobody should fall into the mud and drown with you because you don't want to do better, right? We have to start taking the stigma off of mental health and recognizing that we are human, we are messy, we are fallible, and we need help. And if you need it, there is no shame in going to get help. There's no shame in that. It should be about, I would rather go get help so I can be better for myself. And then anybody that chooses to be in my life then gets the extra benefit of that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to direct you to another episode we covered about 5 months ago called Sex Magic, Pleasure, Power, and Prosperity. Because there's a whole lot of folk out here trying to do sex magic, trying to manifest a person. You need to manifest some fucking therapy. Because if you're still talking about what he did or she did to you 30 years ago and you're still mad about it, ain't enough sex magic in the world to bring you a healthy person that's going to deal with your crazy.
Right.
There's not. And even if you meet them by chance, if you happen to get into the right energetic state to co-create that experience with that person and bring them in, they're going to leave your crazy ass because they're going to realize you're not healthy. And then you're going to be mad talking about they're good with nothing. I knew they weren't shit. No, they were. And that's why they're not with you. Because you're choosing to stay stuck in pain instead of dealing with your stuff. No, ma'am. And no, sir. It is almost 2026.
Well, wait. I gotta say something about sex magic too. The thing is that sex magic, what people don't understand is there's something behind all kinds of magic, and eventually you have to pay the piper. Like, even if sex magic manifests for you, eventually you're gonna have to pay for that sex magic that you utilized. So be careful. Be careful about what it is that you try to conjure up.
Well,
and the portals that you open, conjuring.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's always an equal and an opposite. Everything exists in reciprocity. And there is a price or a consequence to pay. And sometimes it is good and positive, and sometimes it is not. And so if you can't if you can't hold the frequency of the person that you're calling in, they're going to leave. And that price that you're going to pay or that consequences, your feelings are going to be hurt and you're going to be heartbroken again, because that person is not going to deal with your shit. And they should not have to. You get what I'm saying? They should not have to. So if you want to call in someone that is healthy and healed and whole, you have to be able to exist in that frequency in order to not only attract them in, but to hold it. Same thing with money. If you got a poverty mindset, you can do all the magic in the world, all the spiritual work in the world, meditation, prayer, baby. You can
still be broke.
You can oil yourself down, baby. Be slapping oil, okay? Slanging oil, and still turn around and be broke. You can get that $10,000 check, that $50,000 check, that six-figure job, that whatever, and your money is going to find another place to go exist because it don't want to be with you because you're not treating it right. You know what I'm saying? So, and poverty mindset is not only about money. I think a poverty mindset exists in every area of our life. Are you broke-minded? Are you poor-minded? Are you broken internally, feeling that nobody will love you, that you're not worthy, that you're not deserving of healthy friendship, that you don't deserve that good paying job, that you don't deserve to thrive in life, right? When you hold on to those states of being, then that's what you're going to continue to co-create. And for those of you that get tripped up on the word manifest, co-create, faith, law of attraction, I don't care what you call it, they all really talk about the same type of experience. The life that you are living is created and taking place based on the state of being that you exist in, your thoughts, your words, your actions, how you feel, your feelings, right? You are powerful. You are responsible. And so if you don't like the outcome, then you have to change first in order for your external things to change. Now, this, let me put the caveat here and the disclaimer here. This is not talking about somebody that was born in poverty and literally life has shitted on them every step of the way. Because yes, we live in a society that there are certain of us that life has just been like, hey, pop, and knocked your ass on the head over and over and over
Right.
again. We understand that society is not set up for most of us to thrive. We're not talking about that, right?
Right.
That's its own special conversation, because it takes a lot of work to see that and start to dismantle that stuff internally, which is what leads to the conversation I'm having. You have to
Right.
dismantle things internally so that they no longer control you and have power, so that you can change in order to change the external outcomes and situations that you're experiencing. That's your mindset, that's your feelings, that's your emotions, that's your
Mhm.
speaking, that's your action. What you do intentionally is what curates the life that you're going to keep living. So,
Mhm.
looking at relationships, if you keep meeting ain't shit women or ain't shit men, you might need to ask yourself if you ain't shit. Because at some point,
ain't ain't shit attracts ain't shit.
if you keep subtracting, because I get this one a lot, well, all I keep dating is people that cheat. I ain't never cheated. Yeah, but you got a broken spirit. And they
Uh,
see that.
or or you have an expectation of the
That
same
too.
because that is something that you've always seen.
But that's what I'm saying. You got a broken spirit, because either
Mhm.
you've told yourself that that's the thing that has to happen, or there's something that has happened to you that has wounded you so intensely that they see it.
Mhm.
They see it,
Mhm.
right? Statistically speaking, most predators can find a victim because they can see it in how you walk, how you talk, how you act. This is why, unfortunately and sadly and heartbreakingly, this is why most women and people in general who are assaulted will end up being assaulted again at some point if they don't change their
Right.
state of being and go get self-defense classes and learn how to defend themselves, go to therapy and change their mindset and stop seeing themselves as that victim. Because it's like you got a neon sign flashing on your forehead and all over your face, and predators
Victim,
can see
victim,
it.
victim.
Yeah, predators can see it. This is why you keep attracting cheaters, man or woman. This is why you keep attracting cheaters. Because, like Gypsy said, either you think that that's what has to happen, or there's something that has traumatized you so intensely that they can see the brokenness within you. And they think that you'll be easy prey. They think that you'll just deal with their shit and not put up a fuss. So they'll choose you thinking they can cheat in peace. And it's not funny. Y'all, I am so sorry. It's not
No, you
funny.
did say cheat in peace. I can't stand you. Cheat in peace. Really though.
That's what they
Really though.
say. They will literally sit there and choose a person to be like, I can be with them and cheat in peace. No. When you heal
Please call
yourself,
when I
you are
need
less
him.
likely to choose that person because your radar picks up a little bit better. Or even if they slid past your radar in some form or fashion, your instinct is going to kick in at some point and let you know something is off. And the more you start to pay attention to it, life will deliver and reveal. I swear to y'all, I swear to y'all, every person. So I've only had it happen like, I think, 3 times. This one guy, he never cheated, but we would break up, and every time we were broken up, he'd be trying to talk to somebody else while he was trying to get me back. And then I've dated 2 people that cheated years and years and years ago. It showed up in my dream every single time. Like, no
Wow.
lie. They didn't have to tell me what they were doing, and I wasn't going to look for it. But because I focus on being in tune with myself, listen, if I gotta go looking for it, I don't need to be with you, because that means I don't trust you. So I automatically don't need to be with you. But I never had to go look for it because it showed up in my dream. And so then I would have the conversation like, so guess what I dreamed about? And I would start calling out specific details. And you can see a person's
Oh,
body language when you're catching them in a lie. And they're like, how does she know that? How does he know that? You get what I'm saying? So life has a way of rewarding you and delivering when you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and focusing on your well-being as priority number one. It ain't gonna let somebody play in your Facebook for so long before things start to be revealed. Now it's up to you at that point whether you continue to hold the role or not.
Mhm.
And then life at some point is like, oh, okay, you don't really want to know, so we ain't gonna tell you nothing else. We're gonna let you lie to yourself in peace. We're gonna let them cheat in peace, and we're gonna let you lie to yourself in peace. And y'all can be happy.
True.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Mm-mm-mm.
saying. That being
That's
said,
crazy.
I mean, but you gotta admit though, I'm sure that you can say from your own experiences, not about cheating, but just life in general, when you are ready to see something, it's usually going to be revealed.
Absolutely, because I loved my husband's dirty draws, my ex-husband. And we were back and forth for so many years before we actually got married. And when I asked if he was really, really the right one for me, to show me if he wasn't. And there's no way I should have found this information. Because, first of all, I was not friends with him on Facebook, and I was not friends with the girl he was cheating with on Facebook. My Facebook is used for my acting, and um, the people who are on my friends list are in the industry or they're high school friends. They're not they're not, like personal people like that. I just don't have people on there like that, right?
I'm on your Facebook.
Girl, shut up. But you know what? We actually met when I was
Do the
performing,
acting. I
remember?
know.
Yeah, we met when I was
I
performing.
couldn't resist.
And but because of that, my ex-husband was not on there. And I found out he was cheating because the girl that he was cheating with, something bubbled up to my Facebook page from somebody that I know from the industry that knows her because they were in a motorcycle club together. And I saw a picture of my ex-husband in the bed with her. Not that I was looking for it. Not that, none of that. I wasn't looking for it, none of that. Right. So those of us who have a real relationship with a creator, a higher power, whatever you want to call him or her to you, when you ask for information, be ready to receive it, because
Mhm.
sometimes it'll come in a form that you're not ready to receive. I mean, it bubbled up on my Facebook page. And remember, not friends with either one of them. And so um it's like, here's the information you needed. Now what are you gonna do with it?
So with that, I want to direct them back to the we had an episode 2 months ago called God, Guides, and Grown Folk Conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm an advocate for what I don't care what you believe in, whatever it is, God, Goddess, Source,
Mm-hmm.
Universe, Creator, Spirit, Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, Jesus, Buddha, whatever. I give people freedom. Believe in whatever you believe in, whatever makes sense for you, right? But whatever you believe in, it should be helping you to live life in a way that is fruitful and productive,
Mm-hmm.
and protecting yourself, right? And so just
Right.
like in that instance, Spirit was like, bam, we gonna show you this.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it shows up in my dreams. And that's not just the person in my life. Like
Right.
I'm talking about friends, business. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. Like when I need to truly see something, if I'm just not paying, most times I'll see a vision, I'll see it, I'll feel it, I'll hear it. But if I'm just be like da, and I'm being oblivious, spirit is gonna make me see it in my dream, like in live living color, like I'm watching a movie. And so whatever you believe in, however your connection flows,
Right.
again, I believe when you're putting the work into yourself and you're truly trying to be the best version of you and taking care of yourself and honoring your boundaries, your spiritual hygiene, your mental hygiene, your energetic hygiene, spirit is gonna find a way to give you
Right.
what you need. It could be you meeting a random person who all of a sudden is dating the cousin of the person your person cheating with. Like,
Right.
it'll show up in whatever way it's supposed to show up to get your attention. Now, what you choose to do with it is up to you. Because again, if spirit keeps showing you and you're like, don't care, spirit gonna let them cheat in peace and let you be oblivious in peace at a certain point, right? But that's all based on how you take care of yourself. I value
Mhm.
myself. I like myself. I love myself. And so I
Mhm.
hold a high priority and a high value to my well-being above that of
Mhm.
anybody else's. Like, I have been there, like many of us have in the past, where, people pleasing, childhood trauma, all of those things had prepared me and conditioned me to put everybody else first. Religious trauma, religious training conditioned me to put everybody else first. And then one day I woke up and said, fuck all of that. Not going to do that anymore, right? That is not how I choose to exist. And so
Mhm.
I exist in a world that is all about me. I am the greatest actor on my stage. I am the person that sits on the throne in my life. Nobody else will ever have that kind of power in my life again. Even
Right.
when I get married again, nobody else will have the kind of power to dictate my well-being, because that's my responsibility, right? That's my responsibility to make sure that I'm taking care of my well-being, to make sure that I'm feeding myself spiritually, physically, right? If you are able-bodied, you don't need anybody to come feed you. Why should they have to force you spiritually or emotionally?
Right.
It's the same thing. What you are able to do, it is your responsibility to do. And a lot
Mhm.
of us shirk that responsibility when it comes to healing, when it comes to uh uh being accountable for our actions, right? I was having this conversation, I forget with who, but somebody recently, and I was like, I think that that's one of the reasons that people struggle to walk away from organized religion. Because if
Mhm.
I have somebody else that I can say, well, they decided that I had to go through this storm. They decided that I couldn't have this, or that this wasn't going to work out, or that this was going to work. When everything is based on somebody else,
Right.
you have a scapegoat. When it
Mhm.
is you and your higher power, you and your spiritual team, you and God, then you have accountability to what's happening in your life. And not everybody
Mhm.
wants to own up to that accountability, right?
Right.
So now
They
I'm going to
they
list off
want
the
the
episodes.
accolades. They want the accolades without the accountability or responsibility.
Facts. So with that one, I'm going to point y'all back to the episode Reclaiming Your Power that we did about a year ago. And y'all can just,
Mhm.
as y'all hear me saying these names, you could just scroll through the
Mhm.
episodes on our channel
Mhm.
and see, look for those titles and find those episodes. Because again, we've talked about a lot of this stuff, and that's why we wanted to do this kind of remix tonight,
Recap.
this
Mhm.
recap, and talk about some of the things we've already talked about, remind you of those episodes. Because a lot of times, y'all, we be having like bomb conversation. And when we're in it, it's
Mhm.
funny because we be saying stuff, we be saying crazy shit, really.
We
Not always
do.
what we're saying. And then when we go back and watch the episodes for ourselves, it's like, what?
Right. Because there have been times I've looked back at episodes and be like, wait, I said what?
What is that you called me about last week?
Oh my
What
gosh,
episode was that?
I was looking through here to try to find it. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot remember what it was I had called you about, because I sure did. I called you about it because it actually, oh man, what were we talking about?
While you're looking for that, I'm gonna call out another episode, the unauthorized After Dark edition that I was able to do live in person with Q and Michael when I was in DC last year. And y'all, we
Mm-hmm.
had a blast. They came to my
Right.
hotel room and we got out and we were sightseeing around the city, got some amazing food, got back to the hotel room and went live and we talked all kind of shit. And y'all know them my booze now. Them my booze, them gypsy. Every time I get a chance to go to Maryland or Virginia, I always have to try to make sure I see them. So that was another good episode. And actually, in that particular episode, we talked about life after divorce. Like, how do you navigate life after divorce? How do you navigate healing and finding yourself and moving forward when you've built a life with this person and now you got to build a new life without them again? And so that was another good episode. Did you find the one you were looking for?
So I do know that we were talking on the do we fall in love blindly episode.
Okay.
And wait a minute.
Oh, is it when I was talking about, wait, it was it when I was talking about the cannibalism with the banana plant?
Yes. When you
I
said
remember that, but I can't
when
remember
you
what
said your
episode.
banana when you said your banana was
That
what did
bad
you
boy,
call
whole
it?
cannibal.
You said it was a cannibal. Right.
Yes.
You said your banana was a cannibal. And it's like, wait, what? What do you mean your banana's a cannibal?
So what had happened, y'all? So I have been periodically sharing with y'all the journey of me, learning how to develop my green thumb and keep my plant babies alive and like really getting into growing things because again, I want to transition to being able to have my farm in the
Mm-hmm.
future and growing different fruits and veggies and things. So I have some banana plants and I have other fruit bushes as well, but for the purpose of this conversation, the banana plants take the center stage. So I'm in a few different plant groups and homesteading groups and black gardening groups and all this stuff, right? And somebody mentioned like, oh, you should do banana water. And they just do it for their regular plants. And I was like, okay. So to do banana water for your regular plants or plants, period, you literally take your banana peels, eat your bananas, put them in the freezer, do what you do with them. But you take your banana peels and you soak them in a pitcher of water. Like I did like 3 or 4 banana peels. I soaked them, let it get really concentrated, and then put it in my water can and added more water to it. And that's how I take it outside into my garden and then water the other plants as well, right? So I was like, well, if it worked for regular plants, surely, because I have some grapevines and some banana plants that before I got the other stuff. So I was like, surely it should work for these. Y'all, why did my banana plant sprout up? I'm talking about grew an extra foot in like 2 weeks when I gave it the banana water. And I was like, does this make my banana plant a cannibal because it's eating its cousin? Like, I don't understand.
And then the other part about that was then we talked about the fact that the reason that you became more interested in growing your own food and stuff was one because you just wanted to be able to have a more holistic view on your food intake. But I remember telling you that, well, I can't grow nothing, so I'm gonna be dead if we have if we have to depend on growing our own food. And we talked about trading and things like that because these are very real things that we really need to think about, especially like with the tariffs and things like that going on, because we don't grow rice here, we don't grow bananas here. And that's why I was more curious about how Jay was growing bananas in the States, because we do not grow bananas in the States. Our bananas are imported. And, so that just started a whole different conversation. So there are times you may see a topic, but it may lead into a whole bunch of other different things. So I
Yeah.
encourage you to go and look at some of our past episodes, because I was actually looking for the episode not based on the bananas. I was like, how we start talking about bananas? We start so there are we do talk about current events. we tie all of our topics in to things that are going on around us, like just life in general, because there are some things that are going on, like these things that happened over the weekend. Like we're
Yeah.
doing recaps right now. All these things that have happened in this last week, we've mm, and I'm gonna speak from my own perspective. I think I've become a little desensitized, you guys, and I've said that before,
Yeah.
because when they talked about the shootings of Bondi Beach and the shootings at Brown University and the shootings at, all these different places, and I'm like, yeah, oh, another shooting. Oh, but one of the things that actually disturbed me was they interviewed a young lady. Now she's had to survive the Parkland shooting to turn around to survive the Brown shooting. She was actually in the Brown University like Commons area, and so she survived the 2018 Parkland shootings. The thing is that it shouldn't be so commonplace that I'm so, oh, another shooting, change the channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly the way I felt about it, which is unfortunate. And when it happened in Australia, there people are more shocked about what happened in Australia. I have some friends in Australia, and that's because they have strict gun laws. And so they don't really have shootings like that down there. And so it was, but to me, as an American who has unfortunately seen a lot of them, I'm just like, oh, another one.
I will add another layer to that. Um, I think not only because we see it so much now, like the news is set up that way, right? It's constantly inundating us with trauma. It's trauma porn at this point. The
Mhm.
latest shooting, the latest gang banging, the latest drive-by, the latest death, the latest bombing, the latest person who set themselves on fire, the latest terroristic attack, the latest airplane crash, the latest, the latest, the latest, the latest, the latest. But I think on top of that, another layer that we have to consider, especially if you are in a black or brown body, and let me specifically talk about black because that's what they call us, right? Black American, African American, what have you. Um, most of us are desensitized because you are dealing with microaggressions every day, all day.
Right.
You are dealing with the epigenetic experience that has been passed down from your ancestors, meaning that the DNA has been tagged because of all the trauma that they experienced. And so we're still experiencing it and responding to it, even though we didn't necessarily live it in first person experience the way that they did. We're still dealing with the ghost of those experiences. We're still dealing with the ancestors of those people that committed those atrocious acts, and many of them still feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with society that was built on our backs and our blood and our sweat and our tears, and yet still tells us we don't belong and we need to go home. Excuse me, but where the fuck is home? And while we talk about going somewhere, why don't you take your ass on and go too? Because you ain't from here either, right? Like we're dealing with all of that all the time. So that in itself is mentally exhausting and mentally disturbing and mentally taxing. And then when you are inundated with the trauma from the news and the social media, because if you didn't see it on the news, you're going to see it on social media because 1,000 people are going to be talking about it every 30 seconds. So when
Right.
you're getting it back to back to back to back to back to back, it's kind of a coping mechanism like, oh, okay, because I'm the same way. And part of that is because of everything that you said, and part of it is, being in my career for 25 years. I've been exposed to all of this since I was 19 years old.
Right.
And I often say that the best way to describe a lot of what I do is I'm with people on the best days of their lives and the worst days of their lives. I'm hearing about people. I have to do. Listen, y'all. When I tell you I have to do a lot of work on myself constantly to not be jaded or to not give in to the negativity, because I'm constantly listening to people talking about their spouse cheating or their boyfriend cheated or their girlfriend cheated. I'm constantly listening to people talk about their spouse just isn't as loving. Their person just isn't as kind to them anymore. Their person is mean. Their person doesn't love them anymore. They don't know what to do. I'm constantly listening to this all the time because people need safe space to talk about it. That's what I do, right? And so I have to be very mindful about what I feed myself and what I nourish myself with so that I don't allow those things that
Right.
I hear other people share to become my truth. This is why I'm such an advocate for healthy boundaries and spiritual hygiene and mental health hygiene and taking care of yourself, because whatever you ingest is going to be the thing that nourishes your soul, nourishes your body. And that's going to be the thing that decides the output that you put back out into the world, right? The external experiences and happenings in your life. And so we're all many, I'm not going to say all, many of us are experiencing that state of being desensitized, but you have
Right.
to look at all the layers that are causing you to be there. And that's why it's so important to fill your
Disconnect.
life with joy. Yeah. Well, not only disconnect, but intentionally fill your life with joy. I don't watch the news intentionally. I tune into it very sporadically because I know I ain't got to watch the news. Somebody finna call me, tell me, text me, and tell me, or I'm going to see it as soon as I get on social media to do some business stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't miss anything, or I can look online and look at the news sites to just catch up really quickly the way that I intend to catch up so that it's not overwhelming me. That being said,
And
my
that's the other thing
yeah,
is stop. You're right. Stop watching. But the thing is, one of the things that's coming out a lot is parasite, like the killing of people's parents. That stuff is like, or the parents killing their kids. This is starting to become more prevalent, and I just think we got to find a way to disconnect from that, because
yeah,
that's going to, in a way, make us feel like, quote unquote, it's okay if we keep watching it and keep seeing it and keep, indulging in that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, my hope is that as we've talked about some of this stuff tonight, we highlighted some of the old episodes. Go back and catch the replays, even though we weren't
Yes.
live the last 2 weeks because of technical difficulties. We got
Yes. We
plenty
had
of
a lot
replays,
to say this week. We were live
right?
more than 40 weeks this year.
Yes,
So
we did
you
really
need
good
to go back
consistently.
and check, because I mean, we were live on holiday weeks and all those kind of things. So I think we deserve a reprieve every now and then.
We deserve a
But
reprieve every once in a while. Sometimes
yes,
we just need to rest. Sometimes we have family obligations and all those things. But thank you for rocking
right.
with us. We are working on some more behind the scenes things to help
Yes.
us expand this and go bigger and show up even um, more for you guys. But in the meantime, go catch up on those replays. Oh, I couldn't get that out. Go catch up on those replays. Make sure
Yes.
that you're clicking that like button on this video. Make sure that you're clicking the subscribe button on the channel so that you get notified when we go live. Click that little bell button so that you don't miss anything. And make sure that you click the share button so that you can share the episodes with the people that you love. Because if you're not sharing them, I don't think you really like them. But that's my opinion. And I'm just saying that's the facts. And I'm sticking to
Right.
it. With that being said, I got to go, y'all, because I got to get ready for surgery on my right hand in the morning. The left got
Yes.
set up. Now the right has to go get healed. We love you all. Thank you for being a part of our audience.
And we
And
will
we
see
will
you
see
next
y'all next.
week.
Bye. See y'all next Monday.